Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply, and this is the Leather Element. If you've got a good question for us or a good idea for a Leather Element, drop it in the comment box below. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. So how about a shop tricks? Now, nothing earth-shattering here, but a big point. For those of us that have some experience, there are a lot of things we do, they're just second nature. We don't think about it. But for the folks that are new to leathercraft, they literally could be all the difference in the world in the outcome of their project. So I've got 5 tricks, 5 tips here. I'm hoping there's something that's going to help you out. I love our pattern sheeting for patterns. In fact, most all of my patterns are made with this. It's easy to cut, it's easy to mark, and it's durable. The downside, from time to time we have to alter a pattern, change a measurement, or we simply made a mistake, which happens more often than I would like to admit. And when we use a marker on this, that is there forever. Actually, it's not. We've got a great eraser in our shop, Deglazer. In fact, that's a great liquid to have in our shop for a number of reasons. But we can always use our Deglazer. Now, with any of the 3 of these, ventilation, absolutely. But that takes that right off. It's already dry. I can change whatever I need to. Now again, Deglazer, great to have in our shop for so many reasons. But also the dye reducer and simple alcohol will do the same thing. Our small letter stamp set, the 1/4 inch, it's a great product to have in our shop. Now, I don't often use this on design or decoration. We absolutely can. Gives us a nice clean letter. But the one place I use this, every belt that leaves my shop gets a size stamped on it. Now it's veg tan, our first thought. We're gonna have to wet this, stamp it, let it dry. Actually, not really. The stamps are small enough to where it's not a big issue. Now it's gonna look better if we go that route, but we don't necessarily have to. But here, we've got to pay attention when we're sizing this. Right here, we've got our bend back on a tapered belt. So we've got our rivet holes. Now it's easy to make this mistake. We wanna put our size here, but if we do, what's gonna happen is when we bend that around, that's actually on the face. So let's make sure we size this between our 2 outer rivet holes. So let's say we're gonna size this for a medium. Now on these, it's a little bit hard to see, but in the bottom left corner is a little nodule, the little node there. That tells us, if that's bottom left, that our stamp is right side up. So let's drop in a medium. Yeah, more than clear, okay? And without wetting. So now let's do this. I'm going to drop my stamp in my previous impression. Good. Okay, let's take our next stamp, D. There's that little knob. Let's butt that right up against that. And there we go. We've got a marked belt. Easy to see what size it is. And right here, again, we don't have to wet our leather. This is our English bridle, 10 to 11 ounce. Let's see how this does. Easily recognizable. Now, I certainly could have got that a little better, but very visible. Now, the set comes with letters and numbers if needed, but also with our set, we can designate left hand or right hand if needed. If we're going to use veg tan, dye, and hand sew a project, we typically have a certain order of steps. For me, I like to try to do everything before I add dye and top coat. So when those are done and dried, all we have left is assembly. That makes sure we get dye everywhere. But if we're going to add an antique into that, that throws a wrench into the whole situation. Because if we dye an antique after we chisel, that antique is going to sit down into every one of those chisel holes. So when we go to hand sew that, that's going to transfer off onto our thread. Now, if we're going with a dark brown thread, no issue. In fact, this is the light brown pro dye, medium brown antique. Brown thread, not an issue, but if we want to go with a bright white, that thread's going to pick up antique out of every one of those holes. Now, we can combat that simply by having a long leader. Well, that's just wasting materials. So what I would suggest, and I am the first person to forget to do this, but let's chisel after we add our dye in antique, then we have no issue. Now, a worry may be that we have undyed leather. That's going to be visible? Not typically. Thread usually covers that. Let's go with this next because a lot of folks have trouble trying to get the thread through the eye of one of our John James needles. Now, one of the reasons these are so strong, and in fact, I've got a good example here. In 10 years, I've never broken a John James needle. Now, I've been a few, but never broken one. One of the reasons for that is we've got a very small eye on that. On the cheaper hand sewing needles, they've got this enormous eye, and I guarantee you, you'll break one of those at almost every project. But getting our large thread through that small eye can be a little bit difficult. Actually, it's not. So, I'm going to do my best here. We don't necessarily have to see what I'm doing here. I don't want to shot that close on my hands. I have shop hands. But anyway, let's take our thread. This, in fact, is the 1mm thread. So it's a good thread. And that's the 18 needle, our smallest needle. So let's press the end of that flat, okay? With these two fingers, basically think of a roller. I'm going to roll that thread into the needle. There we go. Notice how easy that 1mm thread fits through the smallest needle. And there we go. We are ready to sew. Last up, and this is important. In fact, if you've done this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sew our marble. Not nearly as heavy as, say, something like a cinder block. But I'm so bad. In fact, I learned this from teaching classes. I'm bad about just leaning over and picking this up. But I'll tell you this. If you do that, it's going to trash your lower back and it's going to hurt for 4 days. I exercise, I work out, and still that would trash my back. The answer here, let's just scoot. Now we can pick this up, no problem. I'd like to say I'd learned that the first time it happened. I can't say that. But the bigger point here, I hope there's something here that's going to help you out either in your shop or with your projects. But also, those of us with some experience, please feel free. And in fact, I encourage you, drop in a good trick or tip in the comments below. Just something that's secondhand nature to you, because I guarantee that's going to help somebody out, and that's a great feeling. Thanks for taking time to watch The Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.